by me, and I'll stick by you.
This sound like a Miss Kitty song, you know why?
Why?
Miss Kitty say, me never like you first, be like who like me.
Definitely. We're jig to who, jig to me.
Yeah.
That is it, yeah. If you never like me, I mean never like you first. You can't go, Listen, do you remember? Listen, yes, no, Spanish town. Your mother, I go beat you.
The Lulu stick.
May I tell you, or when you used to spit on the stone and throw it behind you and don't look back, because if you do, you're gonna get a beating when you go home, right? And Dennis, if your mother there beat you, right? And MC Hammer or Michael Jackson could have saved you, who would you choose?
MC Hammer?
Yeah.
Or Michael Jackson?
Yeah, MC Hammer, if your mother there go beat you, she come in the boy. Me not tell you to go to the door. Me not tell you to ride a bicycle. And two artists could save you, Michael Jackson or MC Hammer. Which one would you choose?
MC Hammer.
Cause why?
Can't touch it.
You can't touch it. If you did choose Michael Jackson, you would have said what?
Beat it. I've never heard that one before.
Beat it. Beat it. Beat it. No one wants to be defeated. Show them how lucky, show them what's right. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right, just beat it. If I tell you, yeah, I would not do
that
that.
one before, but that sounds like a nice primary school one.
If I told you, one of the time they have a neighbor too, when your mother beat you, and you know you run, he or she, don't run from your mother. Man say that's someone top the lady in that track, yeah. Why does go line up, miss? You see me get beat, yeah, but don't run.
Don't run.
Don't run.
How you coming at it?
I'm like, you know what?
How you coming at it?
When I grow big, I want to cuss you. You know when you look, you cannot cuss them. But I'm like, you know, lady, you need to mind your business. Okay, thank you.
As boy picnic, you know, when you get beaten, you know. Well, I don't know about anybody, but like, sometimes your mother wait for you for go when you got beat.
Oh God, that's the wickedest one. I think that's evil.
Beat beaten are the worst.
Yeah,
beaten.
I think that's evil.
And then when mommy take your rag.
Oh God, hey, listen to me. You see a wet rag lick. You see the wet rag lick. It coming like it going at all your diaphragm. It going at your epiglottis. It go around at one part. In your middle, the oblongata, the way your wig.
And when you get the lick, it's like no sound no come out. When you get it, whoosh, and you go. And then the sound take time and
like in a slow motion. Yeah. I gotta tell you.
With your girl, the teak of the week.
Teak of the week.
Teak. How are you?
Some girl teak. Some girl teak.
Teak for the week.
Teak for the week. I gotta tell you. That's hot.
What's that?
Good morning.
TK used to get beaten?
You know, I don't get beaten. My parents...
You ever get beaten?
I got beaten a couple times, but not many.
Oh.
My parents always said they used to forget I was in the house. I was quiet. I always read.
You did
I didn't give any trouble.
That sounds like a new word for sneaking.
No,
Sneaking.
It sounds like a word for well-behaved, obedient, and fabulous.
Oh, okay, that's hot. So you ever get like a punk?
I think...
You ever get like a punk?
I mean, we get a 1 and 2.
With the wedding ring come?
No,
no, Lady March have a style in the days. Turn to me. Noah 1 here, and I got 8 people saved. You hear me tell you?
As BOJ suspends authorization of Paymaster to operate remittance business. So the Bank of Jamaica, the BOJ, has reported that the remittance operating licenses issued to Paymaster Jamaica Limited as a remittance primary agent has been suspended until further notice. So that's in the news.
Okay.
Well, without further and better particulars, it's difficult to discuss. I mean, the BOJ as a regulatory body in the financial sector, in the economy, would have to have been... It wouldn't take those kinds of decisions rashly, and there would have to be a certain threshold. I'm sure that there would be, what do you call it when you have a chance to
due process?
Yeah, when you have a chance to respond or you have a chance to remedy. Yeah. So I would hope that they sort out whatever. But if it is a case where there are certain guidelines that are not being followed, then it is what it is.
And in the best, whatever is in the best interest of the public. So
Bear in mind also that within the context of modern law enforcement. Remittance services have been abused by certain people of questionable character.
Yes, and when you're a signatory to certain treaties, you have to act in accordance with, so that you're not blackballed or blacklisted. You know what I mean?
So
you know,
there's so much, but without more.
You know?
Because as a quint, the year finished. Which is why it is so important that we pause and take a few minutes to do a check on our financial lives.
I think this is a good topic today.
Have you ever spoken to maybe gentlemen or men? Or you see this over here? The doctor, the stethoscope, the needle, check-up time.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know persons who say, go to the doctor and do your check-up? And you say, I can't bother go to the doctor, I don't want to go to the doctor.
The executive profile.
Yes, do something. And they will tell you something, boy, we don't know what won't hurt you. If you don't really know, say I'm sick, I'm perfectly fine. But that's a very false narrative. Not knowing can still hurt you. And do you believe that you have many persons who take that same mindset with their finances? Just imagine, if you ignore your credit card debt, does that really help? The debt is still there. If you ignore the fact that you are broke, does that help you? Guess what? You are still broke. So you need to pause, assess where you are, and say, here what? Let me get a checkup. It's checkup time right now. So you come to Dr. Carton this morning for a nice checkup. The benefit of doing a checkup, number one, is it gives you clarity and an understanding as to where you are. Sometimes we have a false identity in our heads, thinking that we are somewhere that we're really and truly we're not. So we think that we're on level 10, but we are sometimes you don't even start yet. Because where you are doesn't make any sense. Number two, it gives you some areas for you to improve on. So if you're not checking on your money, you're not checking on your financial life, how are you going to improve? And you need to be improving. And number three, it gives you some improvement in financial discipline. And you want that. But number one, check on your net worth. Check your net worth. And Monday's class will get into how do you calculate your own net worth, because you want to have an understanding of that. Check your net worth. Really and truly, it's a snapshot of your financial health at a point. So it's really your asset subtracting your liabilities to see where you are really and truly. So you start the year with zero, broke. And June, you're still broke. That simply means that your net worth is not going in the right direction.
Well, for PPV, I mean, we definitely have to look at what the regulation requires around them being covered on the road. And certainly for our public passenger vehicles, we call it a little niche because we've created something ideal for them that looks out for their safe drivers, that looks out for their pockets in terms of their payment plans, and also benefits such as, you know, the legal defenses, glass damage to their vehicle. So the policy essentially covers them 360, you know, for them being on the road and operating as public passenger vehicles.
Nice. Another thing I think is important is to be mindful. I heard the taxi driver in the video clip before that they earn differently than me or Mrs. Kitty or someone else, that they don't earn like a salary at the end of the month, so they might not have the money coming in a lump sum. So how have you designed payment packages for them?
So our Easy Pay plan is something that is designed even specially for them, because it gives them the option from 4 to 11 months to pay. Most of our taxi operators do take the 11-month option, so they are able to split the payments over a monthly period to pay their insurance premiums. In addition to that, we offer a safe driver discount up to a maximum of 60%, which essentially, once you come to us at BCIC with a safe driver for your PPV vehicle, you get that discount applied to your policy.
I like that. You know why? Because we often think about how we can use punitive measures to keep people in line.
True.
But some of the times you need to offer some of the carrot rather than the stick. So in terms of offering a reward for safe driving, because you know there is a stigma that surrounds persons in that industry. Tell us, do you find that that works and that you have taxi drivers coming now and they are benefiting from this?
I believe it does, for sure. At BCIC, we also offer open drive for our third-party PPV operators.
What that means?
So standardly, our PPV policy is a restricted driving policy, the comprehensive one, that is. Meaning it's only listed or named drivers. So we vet the drivers. So again, these are things we're looking at. We're ensuring that our PPV operators are safe and maneuvering the road in a safe manner.
Awareness is the key, because some things we take for granted, as you would have described, and you use persons who are visually impaired as your example. But if I'm a wheelchair user and I navigate the space using my wheelchair, there is also a barrier. So it's just being always mindful of our accessibility requirements so that we are not creating unnecessary barriers, even when we are in a disaster, either a relief situation or post or pre-disaster preparedness. So it's just being mindful, because the access needs are not delayed because we are in a disaster situation. Just as how you and I would need water, there are some things persons with disabilities can't do without, because it's their opportunity to navigate.
Like what?
So the barriers created in the road, when we're sending out information, the format we send the information in, if I'm not hearing you and you are speaking and I can't either read the words you're saying or benefit from sign language, you have not communicated to me. If the language is above the level where I can comprehend it, you have not communicated to me. So access, while we talk about the built environment, let's also talk about our behaviors. Let's talk about communication access. Making the information simple, ensuring that we have pictorial representation in some instances when we're sending out information, so there can be some connection. And then the websites, even now digital media is what is leading the fore in sending information, and the access is already built in. Just be mindful that when you're sending out the narrative, you are not leaving anybody behind, because remember, Jamaica is not one set of people and then people with disabilities on the other side, or one parish. Jamaica is all of us, and people with disabilities are among us.
So it has grown, so we're all of 10 years old. And the genesis is really celebrating our people, our artisans who are very creative, and COVID did not stop them. So we have year after year at these beautiful expo shows, and we have grown. We are a whopping 205 people to display today. Wow. We had 422 applications, and we've been going leaps and bounds. Each year we have more and more people applying, and they have to get this pass mark of 70, and believe me, that's not easy to get, because there are about 10 categories in which you are judged. But once you hit that pass mark, you are ready. And we have 5 different categories, some represented here. We have aromatherapy, we have fashion, we have processed foods, we have finance, and we have souvenirs. And all those categories will be displayed at the arena Thursday and Friday of this week.
So today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow. 2 whole days, from 9 to 5 today and 9 to 7 on Friday. And you'll be able to see the creative geniuses of our people on display, free.
Wow, because I was about to ask you if there's a cost to get in.
No cost.
So persons can come and literally shop for Christmas from now.
Persons can come, but the whole idea behind this, especially for corporate clients, is for persons to place these orders. You know, them used to say that we're a country of samples. Not quite true. Just give us time. And if you come in July, You can make up your mind by Christmas.
By Christmas.
What it is you're going to be buying. It is very important. So the persons who come to the show, apart from regular persons like myself, will be corporate Jamaica. So we invite the tourism persons in the tourism space.
Yes.
So you go to the hotel. Part of selling Jamaican is living with our products.
Definitely.
So just think when you walk into that room, apart from seeing the Jamaican products, you get to leave with a piece of Jamaica. Candle, a pen,
a piece of
book,
artwork,
whatever
woodwork.
it is.
Yes.
So this is part of the story. So the hoteliers would come, the persons who own the gift shops come, the person who own pharmacies come. We're all over in Fontana Pharmacy, not putting in a plug.
Right.
But the point is our people are everywhere.
All right, guys, the news is in. You are loving MTM on CVM.
And for those who don't know, we are the Mitchells. I'm Wayne.
And I'm Tami.
And you can come along with us on our journey every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Right here, you can see it happening on CVMTV.
Yeah, MTM man, CVM man.
See it happen, man. CVM man, MTM man, CVM man. See it happen, man. CVM man.
What's your story? What's your sign? You're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We're doing this in our way. We come alive. We come alive. We come alive. We're doing this in our way. We come alive.
All right, so what we have here are two different type of bows. We have recurve bow, which is called the Olympic style recurve. So this is the bow that actually goes to the Olympics.
Okay.
Then we have compound. Now this bow is...
It's all of optics.
Yes, this is like a recurve bow on steroids, literally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we have a rear sight, a front sight, just like a regular rifle.
Yes.
And it shoots great distance. Normally packs a lot of power, so a lot of hunters would use this type of bow.
Okay.
But this one is, in particular, is what we call a target bow, as well as that one over there.
A target bow, okay.
Yes.
All right.
So it's built to perform right on the edge.
So in the same way that the bows have evolved, show us the arrows that you have and how they have evolved as well.
Wow.
Yes. So this is what we call a bear shaft. Has no fletching. This is
a what?
Bear shaft.
Fletching is basically what stabilizes the arrow.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Okay. Massa.
So you can see with the point.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For precision.
Proper business.
Yeah.
Proper business.
Yeah.
Made of tungsten. The shaft is made of carbon fiber.
It feels very expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which means that, you know, I mean, for persons who are interested in getting into the sport, I mean, how difficult is it to get in? I mean, from the moment of being interested to getting now and going to JRA and practicing.
And that's a good thing about archery, because it allows you to start from grassroots nothing, pretty much. For a start, somebody who's going to begin the sport, just coming into the sport, you can spend less than $300 US and get a full kit ready to shoot.
Okay.
What?
Yes.
Well, let me ask Sean Luke here. How did you get interested in archery? You know, because normally boys tend to want to do football or that kind of thing, basketball. What drew you?
His family.
Well, in the history of what my family has done with a lot of shooting and stuff, it kind of ties into what we have done. And my father just called me one day and said, hey, you want to try out archery? I said, sure. And from I shot my first arrow, I just fell in love with it.
So the idea, actually, it wasn't an idea. It was totally accidental.
Yeah.
It was like September, COVID, 2020.
Okay.
And we were home. Lamb had some food shipped to him from back at home. And I was walking through the living room, and he was like, hey, come try this really quick.
Yeah.
And we tried it, and he put it on TikTok. We never knew what it was, but a friend of him was like, you guys should go on this. We posted it, went to bed, woke up, and it was viral. We were like, I guess people like to watch us eat. So let's keep doing it.
Yes. And I find that so many people, since you've started doing this, have tried to do their own couples. It's like it's now a proper niche on social media, you know, like couples content. Like, I mean, how do you feel knowing that like you've helped to give rise to this?
It's a great feeling, sincerely, and like one thing about us is when we started, we didn't know it would become all of this, you know. And there's a funny joke among us, we're like, wait, like 50% of our fan base have also become couples creators themselves. So for us, it's great to see that we have inspired a lot of people to do it. But one thing we always tell people is make sure you love it. Make sure you're not doing it just because you think you want to be famous. We didn't think it will become this, so that the pressure doesn't get to you. But we're grateful for it.
You have to keep authentic.
How do you manage? Because I mean, you have like built-in content because the diversity of the culture, you know,
so true.
like it's like you guys can't even help but be this way, right? What would you say are some of the most difficult parts? Because I know a lot of people will see on social media and think it's easy. Does it get difficult? And what would you say is the most difficult part?
It definitely gets difficult. I think the most difficult part is having to do it all. So we think of the ideas, we're writing, we're thinking of the ideas, we're producing them, we're editing it, and then we're planning on how we shoot it, where we put it out. So it's like a whole team of people, just the two of us. So that can get tough, and the pressure to keep doing like better than your last video.
Because you're only as good as your last piece of content.
Copa America semi-final 2 between Uruguay and Colombia from the Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, a facility that holds 75,000 fans. It was just below capacity, but there was a strong crowd and heavily Colombian, the yellow and the red, dominating the scene inside the stadium, and they were in full voice throughout. And at the end, their team took it over the line, only just because Uruguay tried and tried hard. Colombia went down to 10 men in the first half, and they still could not get back, despite Luis Suarez being summoned for a rare appearance in this competition. Not even the great man could help Uruguay find that elusive goal. My panel worked with me throughout the game, and they were impressed by what they saw from Colombia, especially Tash, the defensive organization of the coach in the second half to manage the game with his team a man short.
Definitely, I agree. Colombia coach, you could see that he came on with a master plan. You could see the three defensive line. He readjusted the formation, made a substitution, and for every time that the game would stop and you could get a full view of the Colombian half, you could see the three clear lines that they set up that Uruguay had to break in order to get a look in at goal. I thought it was masterclass. When you talk about pressure, cover, balance, it was evident in all three lines throughout the second half of the game.
Sean, sometimes your team gets a man advantage and you play with a man up, and you don't really utilize the man advantage and you don't really create chances. Uruguay will not leave the game, or did not leave the game, thinking that, boy, we let ourselves down because we didn't capitalize on the man advantage. They looked to be the team with the numerical superiority on the field. They just could not score, and they just could not score because Darwin Núñez, their star man, missed his chances.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVMTV.
So much more than entertainment.
Our days get a little complex sometimes. Often so many things make sense, yet so many do not. We are being intentional about giving prominence to the big stories in order to clarify and enlighten. Lead Story explains who, what, when, where, why, and how. Lead Story with George Davis, weekdays at 6:30 p.m. on CVMTV.
welcome back to the round table. We talked about the Bushy Parks resident and their appeal for the fixing of a bridge and just some help to get some basic necessities to the residents in Bushy Park. Now we're on final thoughts.
Yes.
Julia?
Well, as I said before, my final thought, I'm really hoping that as we continue to speak on these issues, that priorities will be made for, those areas that are severely damaged like Bushy Park, and that we think about the residents and how to help them. I'd also like to thank the Good Samaritans so far. I've had donations of cases of water. We've had that overseas organization, non-profit organization that came in with meals and stuff like that. We've had people just reach out on social media, you know what I mean? So I just want to thank, and we've had also, I must say, that there are some entities that worked very fast. NWC came in and fixed the pipe that was attached to the bridge, like as soon as they could. And so the residents were out of water, so that was one of the greatest concerns. And so we got back water pretty quickly. That's good. Right, given the circumstance. We were out of electricity. We got that back on Saturday.
All right.
Before the rains came, so the water does help to ease a lot of the anxiety.
Yes.
So just want to say thank you guys for having me. You know what I mean? And let us continue to just pray for the island and prepare and educate ourselves as to use the situation and to learn from it and to move forward.
Prepare for the next one.
Right.
G?
Because they say it's going to be a very active hurricane season.
Yes.
So if we think Beryl is gone and that's all, that's not it, right? So my final thought is there's a lot of communities that have been hard hit by this, Bushy Park being one. We all need to do what we can because life for us can change in the blink of an eye. We've seen that many times. Now we've seen it again with Beryl. So we need to help because we never know when someone will be the one turning around and helping us. The world is round. If it is that you can't help somewhere like Bushy Park, there's Treasure Beach, there's all the places that are hit, anywhere that's closest to you, anywhere that it's the easiest for you to help, just help because they need our support. So please remember to donate both to there and to Her Flow. The organizations that are doing good by these people also need support. So please go ahead and do that. That is my final thought. Let's all do what we can from where we can.
My final thought, I think last week we talked about if we thought Jamaicans were being philanthropic and reaching out and really helping. Yes, I do. We are generous, kind-hearted people, and we do care. And I'm saying continue to care because there's a lot going on. Think about your neighbor. All right, that was the round table. Thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday morning with Gianna.